Hola a todos, bienvenidos.
Hola. Sí, hola.
In this video, we wanted to share 9 tips on the spousal visa process from a native Nicaraguan, Tomas obviously, and our experience of petitioning for the visa and him coming to the US. So this visa was for him to be allowed to come into the US, work, and live here for an extended period of time. We did this all without a lawyer. Disclaimer, disclaimer, do your own research and all that. We're not lawyers, so.
Yeah, and it's not hard to do it. It's only like they give you steps. You need to follow. I think for our experience, you can do it yourself.
Also, even if you're not personally interested in going through this process, I think this is a very interesting thing to understand and learn about, because before we went through this process, I had no idea all the steps, the time, the research, and money that goes into it. It is quite a process.
Take time. It depends where are you from.
The processing times change over time, but for us it was 1 year. Soy Darlene, a Spanglish-speaking mama, and on this channel we speak Spanglish, anything Nicaragua, and life as a bicultural family. If you're interested in this type of content, consider subscribing, and let's get into the video. I talked to a girl that I kind of sort of knew, and she had recently gone through this process with her husband, but it was a little bit different from them because he was already living in the US on a student visa, but it did help to at least talk to someone who went through the steps, and I just felt a lot better about having somebody to contact if I felt unsure. So the friend that I talked to recommended me a book called Fiancé and Marriage Visas, A Couple's Guide to US Immigration. I highly, highly, highly recommend this book because it actually gives you a lot of good information. This is what helped us be able to get through the process without a lawyer, because I think without this book I would have been so lost.
I think one of the hardest part is the beginning. After the beginning, they give you steps and stuff like that. In the beginning, you need to know what you need to send to them.
We got married in February. I didn't even send in the paperwork until the beginning of April because it was reading so much information and filling out the paperwork and getting together what we needed to send for the very first step. It was just a lot. So I'm not gonna get into all the very nitty-gritty details of the whole process, like you can actually learn that in the book and on the website, but I am going to give you some tips about what we went through and things that might help you to avoid extra hours of research. One note though, we had the process a little bit easier, I think, because neither of us had kids. We had never been married before. Our police records were clean and all that. It just made the process a little bit easier, so.
If you have kids, well, you need more information, you know. If you have kids, never say you don't have kid, because that's not gonna help you in nothing. You need to say, yeah, I was married, or yeah, I have kids. So you need to put them in information and give information.
I did read through the whole process, at least the first several steps in the book before I even started, because I just really wanted to know and kind of get an overview of what it would be like and make sure I didn't miss anything in the very beginning. Went on USCIS.gov and researched, which is the actual website with the official information from the government. It's very factual and
has good information, but it's so confusing, and there's like different pages everywhere and there's different steps to follow, and
it's just not a whole overall look of the entire process in actual normal words. Kind of a crazy website. To petition for a spouse, you can start with the I-130 application, which is what we did. So if you go on USCIS.gov, just search I-130 and it will give you information about that. But they also have like the K-1 fiancé visa and different things. This I-130 application is now $535. I'm not sure if we paid exactly that much, but it was something close to that, if not the same. So in the beginning of April was our very first step after researching, and we sent in that I-130 along with other information that they asked for, the fee, and that was the very beginning of our steps.
Yep, she put our papers when she come to United States. I think if you're gonna stay in Nicaragua, like you are a citizen, you can go to the embassy in Nicaragua and ask them like what you can do. We are talking, but she started the process right here in the United States when I was in Nicaragua.
send in paperwork, keep a copy for your records and make sure you have a tracking number of what you sent in. This is something that my friend told me and I'm very glad. We didn't have any issues with any of that, but it's just something to be sure of. If they lose the paperwork or if the paperwork never arrived, you can at least look at your tracking number and you can just send in your copy, or just to have something on your end in case their end something gets messed up for whatever reason. Sadly, I mean not too sadly because like I said, we didn't have any issues.
Yeah.
But I sometimes did forget to make copies of the information and paperwork after signing, which was not great, but thankfully, we didn't have any issues. Keep your paperwork and everything you do very organized. I ended up buying this accordion folder thing with the different folders inside of it to say this is like original paperwork, this is the I-130, this is copies, yeah.
This is proof.
Proof of our relationship, which we'll get to. Also, sometimes when we sent in paperwork, we had to make translations of like his Spanish birth certificate and different things. So there are times that they specify you do need to translate those things, but I think at some point I did not have to translate, but then a different part I did have to translate. Make sure you just pay attention to that. At one point I was able to translate some stuff and say like, not certified, but like I was competent for doing that I spoke both English and Spanish. But then there was another thing that I had to send to she was a Spanish teacher at a college. I'm not sure if she was like specifically certified with the state or something, but she did send me the translation and I had to go get it notarized with the notary. So once they received that first packet of paperwork that we sent in, it just took a couple weeks, I think, for them to like process it. And then on April 28th, 2016, they notified us that our petition was approved. Yay! So that initial approval doesn't mean like he can come to the US now. It meant that it was approved as far as like all of our paperwork was correct. We sent in all the right stuff and they were going to process it, and we had to wait 6 months for the next step.
We wait 6 months?
Yep.
Oh.
It was in October that they sent us the next things.
They say that it's approved and they give you steps to follow, or they say you need to wait on.
They said we need to wait. So if you go on the website, you can search I-130 processing times and it will tell you. So roughly 6 months later, actually on October 17th, 2016, they sent us a new checklist of more stuff that we would need to send into them.
More application, more money.
Yeah.
Yay! Whatever you spend on this, worth, yeah. So don't worry about that.
On October 20, 2016, I filled out something called the online choice of agent and address, something like that. So I was considered the agent and I had to just confirm that, an address that they could send stuff if they needed to, which they did end up sending stuff. So this, they say, please allow at least 2 weeks to process, but it only took a few days. And on October 27th, 2016, they sent me at the address that I provided to them a correspondence in the mail saying that I needed to do 5 steps. Pay fees, submit a visa application form, collect financial documents, collect supporting documents, send it all to the NVC. Nanai. She grabbed a pillow and just laid on the floor. So on October 29th, 2016, we paid fees for the affidavit of support, which now costs $120, but not 100% sure how much we paid at the time. I should have kept track of all the payments we did because it adds up. So the affidavit of support is a form I-864, and basically we needed 3 different people saying that yes, we're a legit couple and they know both of us and we're basically good to go through with this visa, I guess. They had to fill out the form and also write a little statement just talking about how they know us and what they know about us and our love and marriage, I guess.
For that step, it doesn't matter if it's your mom, your dad, your sister, or whoever is related with you. The only one someone know you and know her.
Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, it might have been just 2 people, not 3. You'll know in the steps. They actually give you the details, so. Also on October 29th, we paid $325, or at least that's how much it costs now, for the immigrant visa fee. Keep in mind, during this time, Tomaso's working in Nicaragua. How much did you earn per month?
8,000 Cordobas. It's like 250 bucks, something like that.
And I was working in the US kind of as a freelancer. I know I worked for my parents for a while, which was like full time, but I was traveling back and forth to and from Nicaragua. So it's like I was spending most of my money on traveling, and
I was paying my motorcycle, like cost me like half of my paycheck. The rest of my paycheck I buy food or keep it sometime, because sometimes I need to travel, so I need to buy food on the road and something to drink, water. Yeah, you need to drink lots of water when you're there.
Having a financial sponsor if you're not earning a lot of money like we weren't. They require you to meet a certain income level, and then you have to be able to support this person coming into the US. And it's not like once he was coming into the US, I was just gonna support both of us, because obviously he was gonna find a job, but it does take time to find a job, and you just never know what's gonna happen at first.
They don't want you come to the United States and the government need to support you, give you food or money or whatever. They wanna make sure you is someone in your family or whoever.
Or unrelated.
Can say, yeah, if he don't find a job, I will support him. He's gonna have a house with me. He's gonna have food. So the government don't need to worry about to take care of you. That's the reason.
So because of our financial situation, on November 1st, 2016, my parents signed a financial support document, and they had to fill out the application. They had to send in tax report from the past couple years. They had to prove they were earning this money. It's not just a simple, oh yeah, I'll sign for you. It's like they had to go through and send us copies of stuff and fill out this application. And this was them promising that they would take care of him if it came down to it.
Thank you, mom and dad, to do that.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. Besides that, we also had to write up like an official list of assets. Well, I owned a house at the time, which I was renting out, so I had to write that in there, and like how much the house is worth. And then also parents, again, loaned us money to buy a car in Nicaragua so that we could try to earn money by renting the car out. We also wrote that on our list of assets. Also, I had to get signed statements from two of my, I guess I could call them clients, because I was technically a freelancer at the time, kind of still am. The two people that were my main source of income needed to send me written statements with the signature on their like official letterhead saying, yeah, I do pay this person. On November 14, 2016, we submitted DS-260, which is a form. Basically, he had to agree that he would sign up for the selective service when he was granted entry to the US.
It's something like you have to do. You can't say no. So you need to sign that. What does that mean? The government, if they need you, they can go and get you and say, okay, you need to go fight for us. You need to go in the army or whatever. If you are under 26 years old, after 26 years old, you're free.
So since he was between, I think it's 18 and 26 when we were doing this, he did have to sign up for it.
Yeah, it's something that you need to say yes. If you say no, well, the process is done.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure. Sign it.
Say, oh yes, oh yes.
Oh yes, oh yes.
And then on the 15th of November, I did sign an official statement saying, yes, I'm competent, and I translated some different forms of Tomas's that were in Spanish. I translated to English, which was a very long, laborious process. It takes a long time to translate official documents. They have so many official technical terms.
If you can do it, you can do it. But if you can't do it, it's better trying to find someone to do the translate for you.
And then we printed a cover sheet that they provided and sent in all that financial sponsorship applications, affidavits, all the good stuff to the NVC. Yay! Good job. I think in January of 2017, they sent you an email saying you need to go do a medical exam.
Yeah.
You're gonna set up an interview appointment.
Yeah, that's something like whoever is in Nicaragua, they need to go and do it. It's not to the hospital that you wanna go, or the clinic that you wanna go. It's a clinic like they say.
Yeah, they have specific certified medical professionals.
Yeah,
that you
so
can
I
go
went to a clinic that I don't remember what is the name, in Managua. Yeah, everything is in Managua. The Vivian Pelas Hospital, so maybe you will enter there.
So I don't know how much we paid for that either, but they say to expect it to be between $225 and $440.
I think it was more than $500.
Was it really? Make sure you go through your checklist of stuff and make sure you're sending all the right papers. Make sure your application is completely correct. Make sure you signed in the right spots. Make sure you're not missing any information. It's just so much easier if you do it right the first time.
It's nothing like if you miss something or you forget something, the process is done. They're gonna let you know and tell you, hey, you missed this, and so the process is gonna be longer.
So I don't remember when exactly or how they sent us the appointment interview date.
I think it was by email to
I think
me.
it was to you,
Yeah, April 11.
2017. And they said you have to bring your medical results from your medical exam. You have to bring your appointment letter.
Yeah,
So you
but
print that out.
whatever the doctor gives to you, I think it's everything closed. You can't open it. The doctor will let you know that, or whoever is gonna let you know that.
By the way, what did they do in your medical exam? I never asked you.
They do vaccination to me. I think they take blood and do sun tests
Probably
on
checked
it.
your breathing and
Yeah,
your
my
ears
breathing.
and your mouth.
Yeah. Before that, they ask you if you have a critical illness. If you say no, they will know. So if you have something like is critical, you have a terminal illness, no?
Yeah, because that could be really expensive. So in Nicaragua, there's this thing that I never knew existed. There, you have to take official documents like his birth certificate and our marriage certificate and go to Managua to a certain place to get them like certified.
El acta de nacimiento que te dan en tu ciudad no es válida para hacer este proceso. Tiene que ser de Managua porque tiene que ser apostillada, creo. Es diferente. La que te dan en tu municipio o en tu ciudad es una grande así hoja, y la que te dan en Managua es más pequeña. Tiene la bandera de Nicaragua, dice certificada, y apostillada dicen también.
So you had to get a day off of work, right, to go to Managua to
Yeah.
do the process?
2 days,
You have to leave it and then come back?
I guess. One thing, when you go take a picture for your passport, no, for your visa, because it's visa picture. When you go, you need to go, and they say, okay, don't smile. But they don't tell me that in the first time, so I smile, and they take me the picture, and after that, one say, well, you cannot bring this one to the embassy because you're smiling. They don't accept this, so they take me another picture when need to be like.
Nice mugshot.
Yeah, so I went to the embassy to my interview and everything, and I have 2 packages of pictures, one on a smile and the other one without a smile. So I give the wrong one to the lady was there, and when she take it out and I saw the picture, I was smiling. So I say, no, I give you the wrong one. And I say, why? Because I ain't smiling, and they say you cannot smile there. I say, no, that doesn't matter. So.
Another important thing to bring is a folder or a binder full of proof of your relationship. We got this humongous binder. I wish I could show you. It's like packed away in storage, full of pictures of us, with his family, with my family, our wedding.
Letters that you send me when you go visit me. We went to places. If you stay in the hotel, you can take the receipt from the hotel and keep it, and you can bring that like a proof too. That help you. She was with my family, and wherever we went, we take pictures and we keep the receipt.
Restaurants, hotels,
Yeah.
airplane tickets.
Yeah, well, for her, not for me.
Yeah. I spent hours putting together that thing, printing out stuff and finding old pictures and screenshots of when we were talking like on video chat. You know, my big face and his little face in the corner of, you know how video chats are. All the stuff. So if you're at the beginning of your relationship and you're thinking about doing this in the future, keep proof of everything.
Yeah, even the WhatsApp text.
Yeah, I
too.
took screenshots of our texts. Oh my gosh, I had pages and pages of our WhatsApp.
Sometimes they don't look through it, but maybe they will. So if
Yeah.
they want the proof, they can say, hey, this is not enough. So bring more than you can.
When you are doing the applications and paperwork, I would recommend printing out 2 or 3 copies of it right off the bat, because like the first one, for example, I did as like my first draft. I would just start filling information, read it out of the book, go online, keep filling out information, make sure I have everything correct, move on to the second copy, and then just in case if you make mistakes on the second copy, you can just go ahead and start on the third copy, which I had to do. Actually, maybe even 4 or 5 copies of some of the paperwork. There's just so much stuff. How could you not make a mistake? The interview.
Yeah.
First of all, there was construction, so I was freaking out that we're not gonna like find a parking spot in time and can't get to the door. Was it 8 a.m. our appointment?
Yeah, they say
In
8
Managua?
a.m., but it's not 8 a.m. You need to wait for it.
There's a whole bunch of people sitting in chairs, which I don't know how it is with COVID right now, but it's kind of like a bank. Everyone sits in chairs There's like 8 or 10 bank windows where you walk up to the counter and you speak over the counter with the person. So we waited, what, like a couple hours probably in the chairs before we actually got called up. They say it's better to bring your significant other from the US, but it's not required.
For us, I think it's better because that helps you and show them like, yeah,
We're
she's
together,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, go together. Yeah, it's better.
Anyway, so when we got called up, the guy, he started trying to talk to him in Spanish at first, but he didn't speak very much Spanish. Or
He didn't
very good.
speak very much Spanish. I don't speak English.
Yeah, at this point he did not. So after a little bit of struggle between him and the guy just started asking me questions in English about like how we met and when did we get married and
They asked her how we met. She said where we met us, and I said yeah.
yeah, he didn't ask even that many questions. It didn't take very long at all. I totally expected that we were gonna like go in some room and get drilled with questions. They were gonna look over every single page of our proof binder and it was gonna take so long, but it probably took like 15 minutes, maybe a half an hour. So towards the end of our visa appointment interview, which was not really an interview, they gave us a package of papers and comment down below if you know anybody who has gone through any sort of official US like visa process or that. We were told that he was approved.
How do you know if you're approved? When they say you okay, your paper is gonna be in your city in like 10 days. I think they say. That's the way you know. They say yeah. Because if they give you your passport and everything, that's a no.
So they kept his passport because they had to make the official visa stamp thingy in his passport.
They're gonna send you a sealed envelope. Don't open it either, okay? The passport is gonna be outside because you need the passport to go through the airport. The other papers, don't open it. If you open it, you're done. Who is gonna open it when you arrive? If you arrive to Miami, wherever you're gonna arrive, you need to give that paper closed. They're gonna open it when you pass through security and they're gonna bring you to another room, so don't be scared about that.
So once we received that paperwork and his passport back, we bought plane tickets to go to the US. We went to despedir de medio mundo, like he likes to say, and off we went. Well, just before that, on April 19th of 2017, we paid another $220 for that green card processing fee. So this was a prepayment of what was to come, and they said it was gonna come in the next 6 months. We will have to do a part 2 of this video of what happened once you actually cross the border, because this video is getting so long, of course. There is definitely more to the process. It does not end there. Gracias por ver. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Hopefully your eyes were open to this whole new world that I was definitely awakened to, or whatever.
I hope this video helped you, and I hope everything you do it right, and
Good luck in your journey. We will see you next Saturday. Bye.
bye.
And oh, we went down her sleeve. So if you're gonna to petition for a spicy
Yeah, it's
a spicy
kind of
spouse.
spicy, yeah. Yeah. I'm done. She's reading a book.
Tip número 9.
Hi.